Going back to meeting at Comanche. We were there, but due the road construction, we moved temporarily, but we'll be back there. But what I wanted to specifically talk about today, because we are so excited about this project and the impact it will have on St. Croix, we have available through a grant from our district conference, which was here last May. The funds that were raised have been shared with the clubs here on St. Croix. The profit, I don't want to say profit, but anyway,
Proceeds.
the proceeds. Thank you. So we watched a webinar that was done by the Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives. And they were talking about a program at Boston Children's Hospital called Building Bridges of Understanding. And basically, this is a 5-hour course that you can do in hour-long sessions. There's actually like 16 different topics that are covered. And the purpose of this training is for pediatric and family physicians, primary care physicians, physician assistants, and nurse practitioners. And the training gives them the ability and the skills to be able to diagnose children with mental illness. And through a number of studies, it has been found that children, on average, go at least 10 years with a mental illness before they are diagnosed. And that's if they are diagnosed, because less than 50% of children with mental illness are ever diagnosed. So this gives the primary care medical providers the competencies to be able to diagnose and treat these children, which dramatically, exponentially will expand our capacity here in the Virgin Islands. And so we're really excited that, the impact this can have, in helping children, in helping families to be able to deal with problems before they become critical, to help children right as the mental illness is developing. So it's very easy to sign up for the course. All people have to do is send an email.
That's fine. You stay right there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Is to send an email to me, but my name's spelled a little differently in this email. It's Liz Giggins, so it's LizGiggins at yahoo.com, at gmail.com, or they can call me or our president, and I'll give you her number also. My number is 340-771-4420. So, and just contact us and we will send you the application. We request that all the applications are submitted by March 5th. The turnaround time is really fast. We do have an account with Boston Children's Hospital. So we do have a code that you would use that you would get into this course and not have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And I know right now Doug is looking at the materials that are sent to all the participants in the course. It's actually done digitally. I don't know, Doug, if you want to take a look at this.
Well,
but
in a second, I got a couple of things that I'd like to
Okay.
expound on.
Okay.
First of all, I want you to do us here at WX a favor.
Sure.
And all that information that you just put out, the contact information about this, just whip up something so that we can get it out there in terms of our media, whether it's Facebook or whatever.
Did you get the press release?
Okay, maybe it's right here.
Yeah, you should have it.
Okay,
If
good
not,
thing.
let me know.
Because I want, as you see, it's a short turnaround time, but people need to understand that this is not a substitute for any other services that are available. This is complementary and it's
Exactly.
complementary in a way that it's not costing you something to do, but can benefit you and your family in ways that we may not even be able to foresee at this point in time. Just by having the access of service, the guidance of professionals in the process, and a way to interact, and a way to get the person that is being challenged a way that they can become a part of their own healing service, beneficiary type of services that can come through this. Okay, so now at the press conference we had yourself speak, and we had also your prodigal sister. I say that because now she's engaged, that I don't see her. She left and gone out on other things, but has still been loyal to Rotary.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, and we're talking about my homemate that I grew up with as a Gerard, now a Leon. Okay. And so Sandra, we shouting out to you here this morning. I know that you would be listening, and I will say also that people think of press conferences as people come, get in front of mic, and they talk and they put out something, and then it's all over. Well, we had a very good conversation afterward with regards to mental health and other related items. Because the fact of the matter is they're overlapping things, and sometimes by diagnosing one thing you can find other things also in the process. Okay, and I want to make sure that this outreach is as successful as it can be. Now, the cutoff date for the 5th. What is there anything that you know of in the future to say that someone who misses an opportunity by a cutoff date would be later open to an opportunity?
Well, let's put it this way. The cutoff date is not etched in stone. We put the date just so we can get people in. It is a grant, so
Right.
we have to spend the money in a certain period of time.
Okay.
So that's why we want to get the applications in. But we are having sessions via Zoom with Bob Andrews, who's the chairperson of the Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives, and Dr. Salvador
Al. Let's stick with Al.
Yeah.
No. I know.
out of Florida. In Naples and the surrounding counties, they have instituted this similar thing where the Rotary Club there is giving scholarships, and they've been very successful. I mean, Dr. Sal talked a lot about the success rate and the children that are being helped. And what they discovered, and obviously it's much denser population here, but pediatricians and the primary care people, they see over 1,000 children a year, one doctor. Now, if that one doctor has training to be able to diagnose, even if just one extra child is diagnosed, that's an impact on our entire community.
Exactly.
So the numbers are incredible. So they'll be with us on the 24th, which is a Thursday evening at, I believe it's at 6:30. I have to double check that.
Okay, well,
And then also on the 24th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And is that something
That's a
that's
Saturday.
open to the general public, or something for?
Well, if somebody from the general public wants to join, that's fine. But it's targeted to the people who be interested in taking the course,
Okay.
so they can speak directly, especially to Dr. Sal, to get technical information from him. I know that Bob Andrew he's working with the doctors at Boston Children's Hospital to see if maybe one of those doctors can join us also. But Dr. Sal's been working with the program, and like I said, their program in Naples has been very successful.
Now, you talk about this course, we talk about this course, we talk about this course, and some folks is like, I gotta go back to school again and get training for this again. Some folks is like, I already got this to do and that to do and so forth. I understand that. But I think that if you can just break it down in simplistic terms, what the potential benefit of this training can mean in terms of whether it's a teacher or some other type of provider, what the difference that they may be able to make in our community.
Well, and discussing the course, it's 5 hours long, and the providers who do the course do get CMEs for it, and all the medical personnel have to get CMEs every year, so this takes care of some of your CMEs, so that's a benefit to the provider, but for the children, for the community, if a child is suffering from depression and they're undiagnosed, we know where that leads. We've seen it too many times in our community, where people have taken their life. Because they went undiagnosed and they didn't get the help they need. And one of the things that I found incredibly interesting, the Rotary Action Group did a webinar, and that's how we first found out about this. And the doctors from Boston Children's Hospital, they talked about things that, surveys they did with people taking the course, etc. And one of the things they found out is that medical providers, unless they're specifically trained in psychiatry or psychologists, only about 30% feel comfortable in diagnosing a child or a teenager with mental illness. 30%. Once they finished this course, it went up to 94%, felt that they now had the competencies to be able to diagnose and treat. And one of the reasons that this is for MDs, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, is because you have to be able to write a prescription, because the course does talk about medical prescriptions, etc., that you would use. Another really interesting thing found out, and Dr. Sal talked about this the other day, that the providers won't be alone. We can tap into that network in Naples, because they are now partnering with us. But also there is a national consortium of psychiatrists. There's about 60,000 psychiatrists across the United States that are specifically set up to assist medical providers in rural areas like us, to help the providers in cases that they feel they need more help. So they can tap into this network, and they'll get back to the provider within 24 to 48 hours, and they'll stay with them as they treat this child or teenager. So they're not alone. There are these resources that people here, medical providers here, can tap into.
Yes, and not in other words, that one specialist that we have here, let's say, they know what they know. There's probably things that they've never seen and encountered. And now through this network they could say, well, it kind of looks like this according to traditional diagnosis criteria, but there's some other things going on here that I've never seen and whatever, and through this network of resources you can come up with parallels or contradictory or whatever the case may be that will help that provider here.
And then also, when the course is finished, the people who have finished the course, they'll get 2 manuals. One is, let me give you the correct name, the Clinical Manual for Pediatric Practitioners, and it's in the Behavioral Health Education. And then the second one, which is a much thicker manual, if you print it out. And if anybody wants to donate to our Rotary Club so we could get these printed, that would be great. But until that time, everybody that takes everything is digital. But the second manual is the toolkits, and it's broken down into categories. So there is the anxiety toolkit, and it has the self-management tools for anxiety, and it has children 6 to 12 years old, children, teens 12 to 17 years old. And the purpose of this is that the medical provider would actually give a copy of this, either digitally or printed out, for the parent or guardian, because the treatment just can't be in the doctor's office. You know, it's got to be at home also. So they get a copy of this that they can work with their child or the person that they are working with, to help them along, to help in their treatment and recovery. So there's anxiety, there's depression, let's see, what else? ADHD. There's a few different sections on depression, ADHD, disruptive behavior, and then there's an appendix with some other information. So, and I know when Bob and I were talking, when they first did this in Naples, and they had an open session. They had an open session with people who were interested in the course, and it was when they saw the toolkit, that it convinced them to do the training, to take the course. So
we have a call on line 2.
Okay.
I believe it's a physician.
Great.
So let me see here. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Canton.
Good morning.
And good morning to the Virgin Islands community.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Julia Sheen calling on behalf of the Virgin Islands Diabetes Center of Excellence, just to inform the community that we will be participating in the 2024 Agricultural Food Fair this weekend, and we will be providing free diabetes screening. We will be there on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Sunday from 8 a.m. to 4, and on Monday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Our services will include rapid A1C testing, blood pressure screening, and medication counseling and referral. Look for our physical banner. We will be located in a private office adjacent to the produce building, and our tent will be right across from that, where we will be doing registration. For more information, feel free to look at our website at vidco.org or call us at 340-208-0260. That number again is 340-208-0260. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share this information. Mr.
Most definitely, but one thing I want you to do before you leave, the website, if you could spell it out for us.
Sure. That's V as in Victor, I as in Indian, D as in dog, C as in Charlie, O as in octopus, E as in Edward, Vidco.
Okay.
.org.
Fantastic.
O-R-G.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing those services being rendered there at the fair this weekend, and I'm already encouraging everybody to come on out. And the document that I asked for was sent via I had to log in via Google, and if they could just send me just as an attachment, that
Sure.
would be great. Okay.
Okay, no problem at all. We'll send it again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. See you at the fair.
You too.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, yes, I thought that that was related to what we were talking about, but it was short and sweet, and we can get back into what we're talking about. But folks, I want to remind you there are a lot of great things going on at the fair besides food and drink and animals and plants. Can't forget the plants.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So now I am really excited about this because anything that expands the range of available services here in the Virgin Islands is important that we capitalize on that. And in particular, we keep hearing about this thing called telemedicine, and people think about somebody remotely conducting an operation on you or whatever. There's a whole lot more to telemedicine than that.
Exactly.
Okay, and one of the key things to telemedicine is resources that we can't afford to have physically reside here. We can now tap into those resources in a way just as though they are here and get the benefit of those things.
And, you know, one thing I think it's very important to say is that we're not doing this because we're saying the medical providers here, especially those that are already working in this area, aren't up to, you know, their
No,
abilities. It's the fact that there aren't enough.
Yes.
And all we're doing is increasing capacity.
Increasing capacity. This is complementary in
Yes.
every way.
Exactly.
In fact, to whatever extent that they have the capability and time to get involved, we would want them to be involved. Simply because the more eyes, ears, and brains in this area of mental health in particular that we have, that we can direct toward our community, the better for our community. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. Okay. I really want to thank you for coming in, and keep up the great work that Rotary is doing in that context. And just as a bit of humor, and talk about the profits. Okay, folks, Rotary is a non-profit organization that raises funds locally and abroad through grants as well as donations, and they do things for our community. And more often than not, if they had to do it out of their pocket, it wouldn't get done. That's why they do grants and all this other stuff. But your contribution helps. Your involvement with Rotary it makes it even go even further, and your volunteerism, whether in Rotary or other beneficial organizations here in the Virgin Islands, is important. You are part of the solution. Thank you again, Liz.
Thank you so much for having us, and we'll be back soon to talk about the agriculture program at Woodson School.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. All right, thank you much. All right,
Okay,
folks,
great.
we gotta go
Enjoy the rest of your day.
and talk with some of these folks here. We've got ads and supporters who make this community-minded programs possible, and I want to definitely big them up.
AM 970 WSTX and more continuous music variety.
Good day, Virgin Islanders. This is yours truly, Michael Springer, asking you to join me each and every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Don't just think about it. Ask them a sincere question for answers by them. It's Keeping It Honest with Michael Springer.
And Emanuela. Less spiel, more solutions. Prepare yourself for good trouble conversation with people who do the work.
Join us on Saturday.
I gotta leave my number roll. I'll always play the VI lottery for sure. I wave of opportunity to win some more. Don't miss your chance, cause it could be yours. Yes, I headed down to the lottery, Virgin Islands lottery. I feel the luck of the lottery. When I win with the lottery. I headed down to the lottery.
AM 970 WSTX, Christiansted, Frederickstead, and the Virgin Islands.
Whether you're looking for a locally owned restaurant with good vibes and good people, a place to grab a meal to eat at your desk, a domino game, or dinner for the family, Chicken Shack is the place to go. Lorraine Chicken Shack is open 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Wednesday and 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thursday through Saturday.
Pigeon chicken, Lorraine Chicken Shack, your chicken tasty and it's a fact.
AM 970 WSTX.
Back. Yep. Okay. Right there. Turn that down. Okay. Yeah, because the the speakers are on. Okay, so we got my voice registering with no problem. Okay, let me hear you there. You good, Gerald?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it's just very low because we're going from one box into the next box. All right, folks. We back with you here, and we have the folks from the St. Croix Lions Club here with us to talk about some of the things that they're doing in the community, upcoming events related, and yep. And of course, I got my good friend Jared in here to help out in the process, so that if I lose my way, he could tell me which way to turn and which way to go. Okay. That's good. All right. Anyhow. With no further ado, it's 15 minutes after the hour 10. You're listening to WSTX AM 970. I know you have your plans for this weekend. You got all kind of things going on, from plays to go to Harvest Jam to go to tennis, basketball tournament to go to, but the queen of them all, the big draw, people coming from everywhere, is the fair. That's right, the agricultural food fair, definitely. And our folks at St. Croix Lions Club, they don't miss a beat. So talk to me, introduce yourselves, and let's go.
Good morning to the listening audience. My name is Hugh Sanchez, president of St. Croix Lions Club. And today we are here to update you and to keep you informed as to what we are doing. At this moment, the biggest thing right now is the agricultural fair, as Doug just mentioned, and we want the public to take advantage of what we have to offer at the fair. With me is our first vice president, Lucian Dungs, MJF, and he's the chairman of that committee. So I will turn it over to him so he can give you some insights on what we have for you this weekend. Thank you.
Good morning again. This weekend, the St. Croix Lions Club will be partnering with Pleasance Ophthalmology Eye Care Center. We're going to be providing vision screening to all visitors attending the St. Croix Agriculture and Food Fair, which is scheduled to run from Saturday, January 17th to Monday, February 19th. The screening hours will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. throughout the 3-day period. Community residents and visitors are encouraged to stop by our booth for their free visual checkup. And now I'll give you a little insight as to what Lions have been doing in this regard. 80% of all visual impairment can be prevented or cured. The first step is prevention is awareness. The second is early detection through vision screening. And around the world, Lions partner with medical professionals and community leaders to screen young children, primary school students, and adults to identify those risks for vision loss. The venue for Lions vision screening varies from school to workplaces to community health fairs, and the screening methods depend upon the age group, but the results are always the same. Early identification leads to timely referral, professional treatment, and improved or restored sight. Lions Club International has been involved in vision screening and blindness history since 1925, when Helen Keller inspired the organization to champion the causes for the blind. Since 1990, Campaign Cycles has helped Lions healthcare providers and partner organizations around the world to find the major causes of preventable and reversible blindness. Cycles prioritizes aid to underserved population unable to access eye care. In 2000, the Lions Healthcare Program was launched as a pilot project in Australia. In 2001, the program was extended nationally with further significant funding from the Cycles campaign. Education or rehabilitation, screening eyes early is modeled after the pediatric vision screening program developed in the Tennessee Lions Eye Center, an outreach program in the late 1990s. Every year for the past 18 years, the St. Croix Lions Club has partnered with the USBI Center for Independent Living to highlight the plight for people living with disabilities, especially blindness. This activity this weekend is how we have continued to advocate for early intervention with visual impairment to ensure that corrective measures can be taken to prevent blindness. February is Macular Degeneration Month. We are hopeful that seniors who are targeted by this disease, young adults and children, take advantage of this opportunity. Also, we also take the opportunity to use this as a springboard for a fundraising activity, which is a raffle. And we can stop by our booth and get a ticket and win a goat for $2.
A whole goat?
$2, yes.
Thank you, Lion Dogs.
A whole goat?
Yes. Yes.
What is this? You know, Gerard, a whole goat.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it. I got to come out and buy a couple of a ticket, my son.
I know somebody that could.
Uh-huh. All right.
So at this time, I want to reach out to mainly teachers, because I've been to schools and teachers have kids in their classroom and they have to be sitting at the front, and most times it's because they have a problem with seeing clearly. So we we know it's difficult sometimes to get to a doctor to have to pay a fee to get your eye tested. So I think this is a good opportunity. Get the kids down to agricultural fair, or your parents or whoever cannot afford to pay to get an eye test. Get them down there on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You mentioned the time is from 10 until 3. So I think this is a golden opportunity. Get your kids, get everybody there who you think have a problem with their eyesight and who cannot afford to pay for eye tests, and get out there and again, thanks to Pleasance who joined with us this year to give us this opportunity to help the entire public.
All right. Well, we definitely bigging up Pleasance. I yes. love to hear when the corporate world on any level and any field in our community gets involved with our nonprofit organization.
Yes.
So what it is, one of the major factors here is that through our art fair, like I didn't even know this until I went to the meeting on Thursday. Wednesday rather, 30,000 people passes through that fair every year, and that's what they have going through. So it's a big draw, and it's a good opportunity for people to take advantage of. And Miss Yolanda Jarvis from Pleasant, I can't thank her enough for accepting this invitation from us to assist with this upcoming project.
All right, fantastic. It's one of those things where you need the whole community on board, and so everybody that gets on, everybody makes a difference.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that I keep trying to drive home. Everybody makes a difference, because you're reaching out to teachers, and it just makes sense.
Yes.
The amount of time that our children spend with them, okay, in that regards. And I'm going to be I'm going to be talking with you guys. I got a project I'm interested in, and it involves vision. And as I envision it, a teacher will be involved, because sometimes a child isn't doing very well in class.
Right.
And, they have they don't study, they don't this, they don't that. We always look at the negatives in that sense. Right. And sometimes there is a medical issue going on. And one of the examples of that is, for instance, dyslexia. The average person out there think that everybody's brain is the same. No, we got some people out there that think they're bigger than others, but everybody's brain is the same. And I was just saying that in the sense that the human body continues to amaze the doctors and scientists, where when you find out that somebody is born with only one lung, or some other anomaly in terms of what is usually on the left side and the right side, and everything working fine, you know, and instead of a heart with 4 chambers or 3, for instance, and everything working fine. And in the same way, the brain, and I'm going to use a simplistic term for my purposes, can be wired different from child to child, so that one child will look at A and D, and the other one look at the same thing and sees DNA. So then we have things like the talking books library and the audio books, so that they can put together what they see and what the sound is. And even though if they sit down to write something now, there's a very real possibility that they're going to write it how they see it.
Exactly.
But we can understand that through the condition, and if that person turns out to be this a super scientist that invents how fusion can work, and all of a sudden we no longer need fossil fuels and all this other stuff, we just don't know which child's brain is going to make that difference. So I'm really happy to when you mention about the outreach to teachers in that context. We have to think different in that regard, and definitely thinking different for some people is that, hey, it doesn't all happen inside a doctor's office. It could happen at the fair. The doctor's office could be at the fair.
And then again, what we discovered too, we have done all the schools on set for education screening. Every school we have done it. And what we realize is that if we give the kids the information to take home, saying that they need to be referred for the evaluation, it never gets to the parents, because they don't want to wear glasses.
They don't want to wear glasses, number one. That's one part of it, is they don't want to wear glasses, and the other part of it is that historically the paper does never reach home. That's the other thing that we're fighting against also. And I say that as a parent, you know. I say, but wait, no. The principal told me that where's the community, you know, and it did right there in the bag, you know.
So what we did is we started to get the parents involved. We go to the teachers, get the parents involved, to let them know, look, this kid or this child has an impairment that needs to be looked at. And it has worked.
Well, you know, the thing that maybe we have to start working on is celebrities that wear glasses. You know, because
look cool.
Right, exactly, and for those celebrities say it's more than cool. It helps me to see, you know, in that sense, because that's a big part of it, is that they don't want to be different, they don't want to be this or whatever. So
how people see them.
Yeah, so we find some.
So we talk about education, and that's where education comes in, because of the fact that you need to really explain to the child why they need to wear glasses. Because
I hear
you could change their mind, you know, but you have to be consistent with, you know, telling them, you know, why you're doing it. Because a lot of time we tell children, don't do this, don't do that, but we don't tell them why. So they, as far as they're concerned, they don't understand what you say.
But now what happened is, this is what I'm saying, they have their favorite singer, their favorite rapper, their favorite this, their favorite that. So you know, if we could also bring them along on the team, you know, that will go a long ways.
And then too, with all of this modern technology, it doesn't necessarily have to be glasses. It could be a simple something that has to be done to correct.
That's true too. And not only that, sometimes it's important because the timeliness of discovering it and acting on it means that it could be effective now as opposed to ineffective later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But another thing I look at, they always say no child left behind. But still, we have to remember, everybody pushing new technology. But there are a lot of kids, not only kids, adults who, they just ain't into the new technology.
Well,
so what do? We stop doing everything that we used to do before?
No, not at all.
We keep doing what we, because you have to help those who cannot get technology smart.
Right. And this is why things like the outreach at the fair, they coming out there. Some of the children, they their intention is to go on the rides.
Right.
You still have to have your libraries
And-
going,
yeah.
because, as you say, no child left behind. That's the only way you're going to be able to get them,
Well, the thing is yeah, but let me touch on that for a quick second. Libraries are part of the complete package of the approach we get to literacy. And it's like technology is being sold to people as a fix everything or do everything and make everything right through technology, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The technology is just a tool in a toolbox. Just like libraries is a tool in a toolbox. Just like field trips is a tool in a toolbox. When you go to the fort in Frederickstead and you go inside those exhibits and they have these things, they have things to read.
Yes.
So all of these things are part of tools in the toolbox. And that's the important thing that we have to understand. When we start saying that this is a substitute for that, that's when we're going to get in trouble quick. And we need to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I remember my youngest, he was like 7 or 8, and he couldn't even run into the walls and stuff. And then I took him to the doctors here, and they couldn't figure out what's wrong with him. And then Dr. Andrew said maybe he has an eye condition. So we took him to Puerto Rico, and took him to all these specialists. They went through all these tests, and nothing showed. So I came back with him, and I was in Grand Union. Remember Grand Union in them days?
Yeah.
I was in Grand Union, and I ran into Dr. Andrews, and he said, "Lucian, bring the boy to me. I know what's wrong with that." So we came right back here, and he said he had uveitis. And he started to treat him, and he started to see if his schoolwork improved. He was a different person altogether.
Yep.
And he just had LASIK about, well, now he's a grown man, but he just had LASIK for both eyes last year. And he's 100%. So that's good.
Well, these stories are important for people to hear, to understand that they have to pay attention, and everything a child does isn't necessarily because they're misbehaving or acting silly, in that context. No, you got to look at it in the context of, wait, no, is there more to this? And let's dig deeper. Now, before you came in here, I had Liz Goggins in here, and we're talking more along the lines of mental health, and in terms of diagnosing younger people in terms of depression, ADHD, and different things. Well, one of the challenges that we face here, for instance, is that we only have but so much in terms of capacity, in terms of resources here, doctors, so forth and so on. And then you have the aspect of it of, if you're going to the doctor, you have to have insurance, this, that, and the other, so forth and so on. And then the doctor only have what they have here, and the knowledge that they pick up in school and the experience that they pick. But it just like when I said, Gerard, my phone doing this and that, the other. And Gerard said, well, oh yeah, man, that has happened. This is what it involves, so forth and so on. Well, I might know a whole lot about the phone, but talking to him, he tell me something that I didn't know. Right. And so now doctors and medical people have these networks, in this case through technology, so that they can bounce things off of people in their network and bring the value of these other persons' trainings. And so they got a grant that allows us in the Virgin Islands to participate in that network. So in essence, the bill that you would have been getting from a provider here may be covered through this grant and everything else. And so they're hustling to get that up and running, and people involved, and people to take the training necessary to be able to participate in it, because it just takes what we have and leverages it exponentially in ways that you never know. And if you have just one child, that's an accomplishment in and of itself, So yeah. So anyhow, I'm really glad to have you guys in here to talk about what you're doing at the fair and what you're doing in general. You see, one of the things that happens is that people hear about Lions Club, Rotary, Women's Club. They hear about it, about a particular thing. Like for instance, we had the walk, you know, like King Day. But through the years, you're doing different things.
Exactly.
And so you keep it coming and keep coming back to the community, because life is such that you got people's attention for a moment, and then something else grabs it.
That's true, that's true.
So I love having you guys come in here and talk about the things that you're doing in the community to keep them abreast and to keep them involved. Okay?
I want to take this opportunity to thank VIA. We had a lot of projects was successful last year, and due to their contribution, we were able to do a lot for people in the community. And we wish them well, and we also look forward to other companies getting involved, you know, as small as it is, but you'll be helping the community, you know, in which you live. So again, thanks, VIA, and I want to take this opportunity also to thank our able Doug Canton. He has been foremost forward with, you know, with the plight of the people of St. Croix, and we commend him for that. We like to present him with a certificate of appreciation. And it reads, "May it be known, this certificate has been presented to Douglas Canton by the St. Croix Lions Club in appreciation of her invaluable services and cooperation extended." And again, thank you, Doug, and we always here to support you, and we always here to thank you, because we know you're genuine about what you do. So thanks again.
Well, I know, you know, Jared, earlier today we were talking about being in the right place and right time and divine influence and everything else. Well, I have the camera turn on them, because by the time I see him coming, I said, no. So nobody is seeing me. So whether he's laughing or crying, nobody is seeing me right now. I thank you so much. And I want to say to everyone that is witnessing by ear or looking at what's going on here in the studio, to say that I want everybody to be able to be a Doug Canton in that sense, be involved in the community. And I'm not bigging up myself in that context. I'm just saying that community involvement is really the road that we all need to take to make this place everything that we want it to be, all right? And I say that, of course, you know, my days in politics or whatever, politics is just one avenue. Public service is one avenue through the government, but there's public service that you can do. That's why one of the things you hear me saying all the time is get involved. You are a part of the solution for everything that you can find. That's a problem. Sometimes.
Yeah, and again, I want to appeal to parents. You know, take a step backwards and you know, look at what your children doing. See what direction they head into, because there is a lot of distraction out there, and the only way, you know, to turn them around, and you have to do it. So take a look and spend some time with the children, see what they're doing, because the world out there is very crazy right now, and if we let them do what they keep on doing, we're gonna lose them. I mean, crime, they're building bigger jails, they're doing all kind of things, just, you know, they're just waiting for them to
waiting for them. Waiting for them.
Please, I appeal into you. When I tell people, my children never had TV in the room. When you go to sleep, you go to sleep. So, and thank God for that. I think it worked out very well. So.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, just bend it and it go in and at the top. Right. No, they can't bend it down. Just hold it and pull it in the middle to bend it down. On the left hand side, yeah. Pull it. Right. So you go in there.
Well, I just got a text from one of your faithful listeners.
I got faithful listeners?
Yeah.
Lord,
he said to tell you congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that we needed to do, we were able to do it at our Christmas and our 57th anniversary celebration was to say a special thanks to Tom Eder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Avis is no longer with us.
Right.
Tom has extended a lot of good mileage for us, and we are extremely happy that he was able to do that and send a big message to the community.
Yes.
And we're hopeful that and we want to wish him every success in whatever he chooses.
Well, now I believe that he is with the WTJX radio news program.
Okay.
Yes, I saw something there. He got a nice picture posing in the announcement and everything else, and I was so happy to see that because, yes, we've lost the Avis, but we haven't lost the talent of the people who made the Avis what it was, and to see that the community has found a place and embraced them is really great. The more we say thank you to the more people that get involved, the better. And you said something about VIA there, okay? And I ain't looking no job or not know anything like that, okay? But I just have to say that as a person in the community, whenever it comes to helping promoting local nonprofit organizations and doing things in the community, VIA is out front.
Yeah, they're out front. They're everywhere.
Out front. So now, when my cable go off, I might have a few choice words that I wouldn't use because my mother will still come down here and beat me. Okay? But, but the thing is, folks, everything can be perfect all the time. Okay, and you have to recognize the things that are done well, give thanks and recognition. Okay, when things aren't going right, yes, you can talk with them and admonish them and whatever else you need to be, but don't make that one thing the judge of the other. You can't forget all the other things that they do in that sense. So in that context, folks, I hope that someone hear me in some other telecommunications company and get jealous and step up, to give some competition for the praise of the people, because that's how we do it. So.
And St. Croix Lions Club, you can reach us on Facebook, St. Croix Lions Club, and so if you need to contact anyone in the Lions Club, you can go through that media and contact us.
All right.
And I don't want to leave out Frankie Johnson.
Oh, yes.
You see, I didn't say Senator, right? Frankie Johnson. Frankie Johnson as a person.
As a person.
When we reach out to him, all he has said is what you need, what you want.
Well, the thing is, Frankie is Frankie.
Yes.
I really enjoy, when people say something like, I said, wait, that wasn't my name at birth, and it ain't there on my forehead, so, because they're correcting themselves, and I said, no, I was the cantor before that, so it's okay. Yes, it's okay, and it's not a disrespect.
No.
Some folks get the degree, and if you don't call them Dr. So-and-so, they're offended,
I mean, what we commend in here is people's personality. Not their title.
Right.
So that's why I said Frankie Johnson.
Yes. Well, he was out there walking with you guys and everything else, and he does show up.
Yes.
And he does show up. That's important. Yes. And I realize that folks have family and things going on, but you have to show up every now and then, not when you're just trying to get there, that type of thing. Yeah, no, in that context, it's important, that consistency. So when we see organizations like the St. Croix Lions Club that's going for rolling donkey years, strong, and doing things in the community, that's the thing that we have to focus on, and know that we have to support these organizations. And I can tell you, whenever you have any corporate entity that helping you out with whatever, I want to know as part of when we talk in here, because I want them to get the credit and the exposure and know that it is appreciated in the community. Yeah. Okay. So now we have the fair coming up. I know, what's the next goodie down the road after the fair?
We have, this is February, right?
Yes.
February, we were planning to do some vision screening with the schools. We have adopted school model. So since we were able to present on board, we see how that's going to work out as regards going to doing something over here. So
all right,
that's something that we'd like to do. So we see how well that works.
All right.
And we're planning to have a feeding for the poor next month. As Christian said, vegetable market. So
all right.
Soon we'll release our calendar of events for the year. So.
Okay, good thing. Well, as soon as it's ready, let me know, and remind me every month of what's happening every month, and we make sure that it's on our community calendar and talk about it. And I say that it's not self-serving that we tell you this here. It is a challenge in the community to make sure that the word gets out, because a lot of work goes into a lot of different events in the community, and then the turnout is not representative of what went into it. But I want organizations to know that just because you're that deep in doing the work doesn't mean that it does transmit out. And a lot of folks, that's the way they move. So when you have WSTX here, we're happy to put it out there and free of charge, at least the first time around, in the context that if it's something commercial, we don't have as a problem bringing someone in here to talk about what's going on in the community free of charge in that context. So a lot of times the challenge is getting them to see and understand and appreciate that, because I had an organization in here one time, and they were kind of like in a hurry to get out, because in their mind, if they stay longer than the 15 minutes, they were going to get charged for it. And I said, no. Your organization does a whole lot more than this one event that you want to talk about, and the community needs to know. So when they support this fundraiser, they understand that they're supporting the community, not your organization per se, but the community. Yeah.
But another big problem we have here, I think people tend to think that the government is responsible for keeping the island clean. No, it's us.
It's us.
For example, down at the lagoon, we have a picnic area we maintain there. And we have to be clean all the time. You come, you sit down, you eat, you drink, and you leave everything like that for who to pick up. And you're coming back and exit. Come on.
Garbage can there?
Yeah, garbage can or no garbage can, you guys on the table.
We have a serious self-hate type of behavior that goes on here in these worklands that we have to address. I call it that because from my perspective, you have to not love yourself to be doing some of these things, but it goes very far back in terms of home training. And the fact of the matter is, today, when you talk to children and children go back and say to their parents, so and so said such and such to me, rather than looking at the value of what you said, they coming after you. Don't be telling my child not understand it. So the things that we have embraced, that we need to realize what we're doing in that sense. When I went to the Seventh-day Adventist school a few years ago, we used to walk around the campus and clean up. And now you'll have parents and they will tell you, my child ain't no trash man, or this, that, the other. And totally missing the point of what it's all about. This is your home. You take care of your home. It don't have to be in the context of the being somebody who walk on a trash truck or anything like that. It's your home. There's certain things that I would like to see, for instance, when it comes to the bottles. You see the beer bottles here, there, and everything. If them beer bottles were even 1 cent or 5 cents. And this is one of the things, so maybe talk to Frankie and see if he will answer that. But the pushback is going to come from the corporate side. That they want to resist doing that. But you have, as being a part of a good corporate citizen, you have to take on some responsibility. Now, you may realize that everything new in technology might look good up front, but in the long run, okay, everybody loved the convenience of plastic containers.
Right.
But what they don't realize is that systematically, and especially since beverage is one of the most used plastic containers, that what the manufacturers did was they offloaded the responsibility for recycling onto the community and the government. So now all they do is produce it and push it out. They don't have to worry about reclaiming it and anything like that. Okay. Long ago, from brown soda to Coca-Cola, you took back the case of bottles, and you get a fresh one. And at the same time, too, the cost of those bottles was something that was built into, so you know the next time you're gonna bring it back. Right. So we have, in that sense now, it's up to us to change the way we think. Okay, that's how it is.
We had a big push there a couple of years ago on plastic bags, and it's still out there.
Yeah. Well, and not as bad as before, but the thing here is now we have recycling going on at certain locations, bottles, so forth and so on. What I want to see and hear is the little jingles, the little public service announcements and so forth and so on, and get the children to do them, because the children are always tugging at people's heartstrings. Oh, they're so cute, but people paying attention and will get the message. Okay, you know, we have to come up with these strategies, because what's happening is that people hear things and eventually they start to live out the things that they hear. And if you look at a lot of the behaviors, it's there for you to see. So now we have to go and say that, wait, now these tools that the devil using, he only using the tools because we put them down and don't use them. We have to get out there now and turn these tools around. So now, where are the PSAs? In fact, as you mentioned that, let me throw out an idea to you. Why don't we see about getting some sponsors to do a jingle contest for trash and cleaning up, okay? And that's the way you approach it. So now all of a sudden you got something you could take to the schools and the music departments and so forth and so on, and say, hey, this is going on. Would your child like to be, or your student like to be involved in whatever? That's the way I would approach it in that sense, because then it takes on a different momentum. The other day, the folks at Vitima had a contest for a jingle, all right? Now, my son, who would stay there and come up with all kind of beats and this and that and the other, he saw the paper yesterday came through the school and they passed it around. And he said, I would like to do that. And he went out and he wrote a song and he got some folks to help him with the music and everything. And he won, okay, for making that jingle. And, you know, when you see children and they start something and don't finish at this, that I watch it, and it just happened to pique his interest. So in the same way, maybe we could use a similar thing and partner with Public Works and Waste Management in the process. Let me work on it. Let me work on it. I ain't here to tell you why you don't go and do that. So you hear what I say? Let me work on it.
It's a lot of things, and but I think
one at a time.
I think what we're missing here is a lot of cooperation, you know, from the business sector of this island.
Yeah,
what? Them and there's always an excuse, but you know, it's for the better of the island.
Well,
so,
let's you see, I have an approach to that, okay, and this is my approach, right? You ask an organization to support you and they don't support you. Let's say a business entity to support you, okay? You get those who support and you have the outcome. You know what? When you do your after action report and you're thanking everybody and so forth and so on, and you have it all on a flyer or something, you go and you pass it out to all the same people you asked who said no. okay? Because very often they don't see afterward. They don't hear about it. Because the same way we're talking here on the radio, whoever is listening now, we got them. But what about the rest of them that ain't listening right this? Well, part of that is why we're recording it and we put it on YouTube and Facebook. And that way we have a chance that they could see it. So let's, and I really enjoy, Mr. Sanchez, when you come at these things, because one man's obstacle is another man's tool to get somewhere, in that sense. And so it's like how you look at things. So I turn it around in that sense, because my thing is, I don't want to talk bad about who ain't help. I want to give them encouragement so that next time around they're going to say, I don't care if you give $1, $10, or $1,000, you will be recognized, and you'll have whatever good feeling in the community from being involved in it. And that's the way I would say. So again, the trash thing, that's one that's close to my heart. I go up to Lagoon, Little Bay, to take a dip, and they have trash can up there. The trash can disappear. Yeah. Okay? Trash can.
Imagine people taking trash can. I mean.
Well, let me tell you about this thing with technology, right? Because some of them gonna get a rude awakening. They have ways to track them trash can. And when the police show up to your house and the trash can in your yard, and you got time either with them to be writing and reporting at the same time, and you get embarrassed, okay, you do it to yourself. You got ways to track them trash can. That they come into. Okay, we could talk about that after the air. I ain't giving any heads up. This thing, when you go down in Frederickstead, we had Clean Street Frederickstead that did all of this artwork and different things, and the things disappear. Okay, they have ways to track those things, just the same way you have ways to track phone. And so what's going to happen is they're going to take up something, and you see on TV how they have it look so funny and humorous when they're catching the people drinking and driving and everything else. Well, maybe we need to have a trash show once a month where we show, okay? Another thing is, there are places that habitually people throw things out their car.
Yes.
So these are the places where, between waste management and public works, they get together, and DPNR, you get together and you get these little community task force, retirees, whatever involved, and you set up your disguise camera and you leave it there for a week or two. Okay? Catch everything, then you take out all the dead space. Okay? So you'll see the car license plate and the hand come out and watch you out. Okay? All right? So after a while, sometimes this is what it takes.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
you have those.
That is what it is.
Yeah, but you got them there that just don't care.
I mean, you driving and you driving behind somebody and the child throwing thing or the window, you know.
Well, the child was yet the adult, you know, because they were a child and they learned these bad ways along the way, or maybe they were a child and were taught right.
Right.
And they went astray later on. But I'm throwing that out because it's so easy to point out what is wrong and what is bad and what is whatever. But there's strategies that we can, as a community, can work together to deal with. Now, for instance, in Christianstead, they're fixing back the roads. They spend a whole lot of money to put up these signs that get knocked down from the hurricane or otherwise knocked down and so forth and so on, right? Well, I'm in Christianstead and I'm watching in the town area, and they have a stop sign and whoosh, they're going through the stop sign. Now, neighborhoods change. Once upon a time they had children, now all those children grow up and gone, the neighborhood is more quiet. But that don't stop accidents from happening, all right? The proper placement of cameras strategically from time to time, you make rounds and you catch these things going on. And it's like, hey, the car and the license plate is there. You don't have to send nobody to get a ticket, but everybody know that's you.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up that about camera and tickets. One of the I see it as a big problem. At intersections where you have traffic lights, there is no line on the road, you can't see any line, so you don't know. I think most of the time some of the lights work by you stopping at the white line. They change.
Well, I gonna tell you, right?
You know, so if it's not there, I mean, sometimes you drive up and somebody, they look awkward, but they don't know whether they're in this lane, they don't know if they're in that lane, because there's no white line there.
Well, you see, we getting kind of to a higher level here now because no, serious. This is something that we have a historic failure of government services not being rendered. Okay, when you are coming at night from the stoplight on the highway off Machuchal heading east. As you get into the corner, because it's turning toward the stoplight, all the lines disappear.
Yes.
At night, I always get in the left-hand side of the road because at least I know where the edge of the road there. The wall over here, you can't tell where you are relative to the wall and the person coming. So I get in the left-hand lane because there are no white lines or anything to follow. And that's been there easily for over 10 years. Okay? And I say that. So we have a historic failure there. And these are the kind of things that I'm happy to pat a politician on the back to say thank you for getting this done, okay? Because it is just plain dangerous in that regard. But it takes it to a higher level. I think that's a different level of community activism to get those things to change. The lights on the highway, you know? But the things that we can affect, like Lagoon, okay, and they do the things they do because they think nobody watching.
That's correct.
But when Pemberton give us an hour of time on his station, and the government channel gave us an hour of time on their station, and Via gave us some time to just run this clip about trash, okay? And people see people they know going and doing this and doing that and everything else. You know, you may not like it. Yeah, you could. You may not like the fact that you got embarrassed, but we don't like the fact that you went and you did what you did.
Exactly.
Okay?
Don't forget the drivers that don't respect the rules of the road. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How much of them respect? Even though coming to you in a minute, our time here is just about up. But you got the people who learn the rules of the rule to pass the test and get a license.
Exactly.
No, because you're asking. Let me ask you a question before we go.
It gotta be quick.
You remember when I said, "Dog, don't move"?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
The car came through the intersection, through the red light and everything else.
I was killing you at night, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The red light was on. They had the markings in the road.
And the red light was on in a way that this wasn't even about just catching the green light to the red light.
Right.
You know, this was like, I going through anyhow.
Yes.
I was coming from a meeting. We used to meet at Vialco. And I came out that intersection by Matthew Charles there.
Mm-hmm.
I came out and something said, Lucia, no, even though it was green, no, I saw that here bush.
Mm-hmm.
I went right through there.
Okay.
And I tell you, I was.
Gentlemen, in closing, I like to be about things happening, okay? And we talk about some things here. We talk about the jingle. We talk about the trash. And I'm saying let's brainstorm and come up with something, okay? Because we don't just want to be like everybody else. Anybody could complain about what went wrong. We want to do something about it, okay? So folks, WSTX AM 970, your community-minded station right here with the St. Croix Lions Club. We're getting ready to head on out of here before they send the marshals in to take us out. And I just want to remind you, please, do a random act of kindness, okay? It's not about what you're going to get out of it. Just do it, all right? If you're feeling kind of bored, ain't got nothing to do some premeditated ones. They're not going to call you before Congress for that, okay?
Put a smile on somebody's face.
Exactly. Love's in need of love every day. So until next time, share the love.
AM 970 WSTX and more continuous music variety.
A new year deserves a fresh start. At the Bank of St. Croix, we provide in-person friendly service, which equals worry-free banking, personal and business checking accounts, online banking, and mobile apps for banking on the go, a non-profit community investment checking account, and a 24-hour banking cash management platform. If you're looking for a bank that will provide superior financial services and surpass your expectations, then it's time to make a fresh start with Bank of St. Croix. We have something for everyone. Contact a customer service specialist for details regarding our nonprofit community investment checking account. Member FDIC.
Palestinian struggle is not just a cry for justice. It's a blistering battle for the most fundamental human rights that every living soul on this planet should inherit by birthright. It's an unyielding resistance against the oppressive, suffocating grip of occupation and the callous denial of the most basic human dignity. Just as the civil rights movement in the United States fought against the chains of racial discrimination, so too do the Palestinian people strive to shatter the chains of occupation and tyranny. Never forget, my friends, that the Palestinians, much like African Americans in the United States, have been subjected to a heart-wrenching history of suffering and torment. The birth of Israel in 1948 brought forth the mass expulsion and dispossession of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their ancestral homes and land. This is a historic injustice that continues to haunt the lives of Palestinians to this very day. The situation in Palestine serves as a brutal reminder of the consequences of colonialism and the ruthless dispossession of indigenous peoples. It is an agonizing reminder that the fight for justice knows no borders, and we must stand united in solidarity with all oppressed peoples, whether they reside in the United States, South Africa, or anywhere around the world. Let's be unequivocally clear. Advocating for the rights of the Palestinian people is not synonymous with denying the rights and security of the Jewish people. The fight for justice in Palestine is not an assault on any particular group, but an unwavering stand against the policies of a Zionist state that has for far too long stripped Palestinians of their rights. We must remember that numerous Jewish voices also resound in the calls for justice and peace in Palestine, and their voices must not be silenced. In our relentless pursuit of justice for the Palestinian people, we must also acknowledge that it is in the best interest of the entire world to seek a just and enduring solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It is a pursuit in the name of peace, stability, and the dignity of all mankind. But let me underscore this. The battle for justice in Palestine is not merely a political struggle, it's an elemental moral battle. It's the fight for the most basic human rights of a people who have suffered these injustices for far too long. It's the fight for the right to exist in peace and security, free from the ceaseless specter of violence and dispossession. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. I implore every person of conscience, regardless of their origins or beliefs, to stand steadfast with the Palestinian people in their unwavering quest for justice by any means necessary. Let us unite in building a world where every soul can live in freedom and dignity, where the rights of every individual are not just respected, but celebrated. The struggle for justice in Palestine is a universal fight, a resonating echo of the battles waged by oppressed people across the globe. It's a battle we must champion, a torch we must carry, and a legacy we must honor. Thank you, and free Palestine.
This has been brought to you by Quality Grocery and Deli in the Grand Princess and Mo at Mo's Service Station in Estate Glen.
This is AM 970 WSTX.
Sweet St. Croix. I love the sweet Caribbean ocean breeze. There is no place where I would rather be. The fish and turtles swimming around the pier. From where I stand, I can see so clear. For reggae to soak up any Ibequois Bay and makes me dance along the way. Oh, sweet St. Croix, oh, sweet St. Croix, your history is so rich. Fried fish is my favorite dish. Sugar mills to sugar cane. Oh, how I love the sweet smell of the rain. Oh, sweet St. Croix.
Dear Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
This I pray, pray.
Living one day at a time, enjoying every moment. Accepting the hardships of peace. I know I'm not saying that I want it, but he who trusts in the Most High, by his steps I will always abide. Judge, I love it surround me evermore. This my prayer every time I rise. Yeah, Lord, give me serenity to accept the things I can't change, and the courage to change the things I can. Yeah, and if in life on my journey, yeah, I should stumble and fall, make me wiser than the man I already am. Yeah. Thanks for another day. Thank you for the obstacles you're moving out the way. Thank you for the talent you give me, for opening up my mouth and express myself in a different way. Thank you for mama, thanks for dada. Thank you for the blessing where you throw up on my jaw. Jaja, your love, it's around me evermore. So every day my praise up for sure. Yeah, Lord, give me serenity to accept the things I can't change, and the courage to change the things I can. Yeah, and if in life on my journey, yeah, I should stumble and fall, make me wiser than the man I already